Hello there, and welcome to another Starfield video. So, as the title says, today we're going to kind of look back over some of the confirmed additions we're going to be getting down the road. So, I suppose I'll start by saying it's been a while since we've kind of gotten any major clarifications from Bethesda regarding like future content. Um, Obviously, I think it's been over 6 weeks since we got the last update, which was a big patch. Now, originally Bethesda had said that they plan on basically updating the game every 6 weeks, adding bug fixes, quality of life improvements, stuff like that. But with all the talk about the Fallout TV show, and there's been like a lot of talk about the Fallout update and stuff like that, we got a little bit of stuff from Bethesda. So Mr. Howard himself was asked about, and he talked about some other games. He talked about Elder Scrolls, and he talked about Fallout, but we're interested in Starfield currently. So one of the things he says is they've got a lot of stuff on the way, and he said there's going to be stuff coming very soon regarding Starfield content. But he said that he's learned the hard way that you can't really put a time frame on basically content because you never really can seem to hit it. And I get where he's coming from in that regard. It's kind of a big thing in the gaming industry nowadays to kind of be like, oh, we'll try and get out by this time, and then turns out they can't get it out by that time for whatever reason, and then it's delay. So they've kind of went safe with it, which is nice. So yeah, so just with a lot of people, myself included, we're getting a little bit antsy. We want some new content, and I feel like some people are kind of they're yeah, like they're looking forward to new content, but we're kind of like, when is it coming? So I thought, well, it'd be best to kind of go over what things that Bethesda have confirmed that's coming, and then talk about some speculation. Now, the following things I'm going to list when it comes to these things, they're confirmed. They've been confirmed either through the Discord, Bethesda's Discord, or from Facebook, or Twitter, or stuff like that, or their website. So these are kind of just to kind of, it's basically a recap of like things we know that is going to be coming, that Bethesda have said is coming. Now, obviously, take this with a grain of salt. It's quite common in today's kind of climate for game developers to promise something and then not give it. But generally speaking, Bethesda haven't really done that. They've been quite, good with content and stuff and just kind of keeping up with stuff. So one of the first things we got was back around December, I think it was. We got a confirmation on one of the Discord posts by one of the kind of the developers about the new ways to travel. Basically, saying that they're going to be improving on the travel mechanic by adding new ways to travel, which obviously got everyone excited. I kind of did a video on that. Another thing they mentioned in the same vein was that they're going to be adding easier ways to navigate cities and stuff, and add proper surface maps for cities like New Atlantis and Aquila, which I hope they do, because I know New Atlantis now like the back of my hand, but Aquila I still get lost. I think I spent, on one of my streams, I spent like 20 minutes trying to find the bookstore in Aquila City. So obviously, new ways to travel is going to be interesting. We can speculate a little bit. I personally think we're going to get some sort of new, maybe some vehicles. We know that we've got the horse mechanics built into the game itself, because it's running the same engine as Fallout and Elder Scrolls. So we might see some sort of either mechanized robot type companion or mount, or maybe even like a rover. It'd be pretty cool. Definitely would add some stuff. One of the next things that they've kind of confirmed is going to be updates to the shipbuilder. They've mentioned that a lot of people have liked the shipbuilder, which is a shock. I mean, is it a shock to anyone? Like this channel has gotten big from building ships, and they said they're going to be basically making improvements, adding new parts and kind of quality of life features around that. Which again, I know I'm very excited about this feature. Um, obviously we're gonna be getting new parts because that seems kind of commonplace. There's a lot of kind of parts in game. Like currently, there's like, let's say you could have like Deimos Wing A, but there's no Deimos Wing B. So it's like clearly there's meant to be more parts there. So hopefully with this, then when they bring out the new shipbuilder update, they give us some more parts and just the ability to kind of basically use wings sideways. Because one of the things I noticed in the Discord, again, plug in the Discord, we've got a couple of guys that have been kind of using mods, and there's a mod that basically allows you to use the wings sideways. So, like, currently, you know, the way you have the Nova Galactic wings, the Deimos wings, and they look very cool, but they don't really fit like wings because wings are meant to be mounted is it vertical? Yes, they're mounted on the y-axis. If you, yeah, I'm making no sense, but yeah, basically, you know what I mean. Basically, like wings should be able to be sideways, not front to back. It should be port to starboard. So that's something that's obviously confirmed again. Next thing is they're bringing in a kind of a menu that's going to allow us to tweak aspects of the game, from things like how much how much credits vendors have, to the ship damage and cargo, to everything in between. This feature, I think, is going to be quite good because it's going to allow players to adjust the game to how much they kind of, you know, they want to play it. Like, I know certain things like the credit system is something that needs to kind of be overhauled, and this menu will allow them to do that. Vendors are not, they don't have a lot of money. Like, when you get to kind of like up to level 50 plus, you go do one of those like POI missions where it's like clear out the spacer, and you could leave that area if you loot all the enemies. You could leave there with probably like 40-50k worth of weapons and armor. And trying to sell that, you're just going to either have to sit in the well for like a couple of minutes just selling and reloading the say, or waiting 48 hours, or, you know, you can go the other route of jumping around and just selling, but, you know. So that's obviously something that's going to be quite interesting. Also, the tweaking to like the ship kind of stats and just weapons and stuff in general, like stuff like that, it's going to be very cool because, again, we can tweak how we play. Now, a little side caveat with this, I'm assuming this isn't, to my knowledge, it hasn't been properly confirmed. It's been teased by Bethesda and it's been mentioned, but again, it's we'll talk about it more in a minute. But there is the idea of survival mode. That's something, like I said, we'll get to in a minute. So we've got the creation kit that's still yet to come out. That's kind of one of the big ones. That's almost on par with. I'd say it's probably on par with the new DLC. So with the creation kit, obviously we'll have a whole lot more mods, which if you've watched some of my more recent stream, or if you've just paid attention to the mods on Starfield, like currently the mods are pretty interesting, but they're quite limited in what you can do, because obviously it's a lot harder to make them without the proper kit to do it all. And when the creation kit comes out, we're going to see more mods, as well as the actual Xbox mods, which is kind of what I'm excited most for, because currently I'm primarily an Xbox gamer, but I do play Starfield on PC, more so just because it's easier to record content. But I do yearn for the days when I'm going to be able to kind of relish in the mods with my console brethren. And yeah, so Xbox mods, obviously, it's going to be coming, which it's going to push the game further than what it already is. Next one, then, obviously, we have Shattered Space. That's going to be our first DLC. And Bethesda have specifically used the term expansion, which has me really excited. Because when Bethesda use the term expansion, they kind of think of things like Far Harbor or Dragonborn from Elder Scrolls Skyrim, or Shivering Isles from Oblivion. Expansions versus DLCs, generally speaking, when it comes to like game development, DLCs are usually priced a lot lower. They're usually like, say for instance, like Automaton was a DLC, or Automatron was a DLC in Fallout 4. And it gave maybe like 10 plus hours worth of content, realistically, whereas expansions give much more. Expansions are going to be kind of a lot larger, a lot more expensive, which, you know, it's not a huge issue for someone like me. I enjoy, you know, playing Starfield content, so if they give me the option to buy content, I'm going to definitely do it. Now, we don't know too much about, like, what Shattered Space is. There's been some speculation. A lot of people are seeming to speculate that it's going to revolve around the alternate realities, kind of how the storyline works and stuff, which, again, would be very interesting. And then finally, on the kind of the list of things that are going to definitely be confirmed, we've got the Creation Club / paid mods. Now, if you're familiar with any of the previous Bethesda titles like Fallout 4, Skyrim, you will be aware of them. But if not, the Creation Club is basically, it's like a kind of a DLC store for Bethesda to work with creators to monetize specific mods. Generally speaking, with Skyrim and with Fallout, they're usually just armor mods, like reskinned armor mods or lore friendly armor. I know one of the examples with Fallout, there was the Doomslayer pack, which was the Doomslayer shotgun. There was XO2 power armor was another one. Skyrim had some pretty cool quest mods that eventually got added with the Skyrim Special Edition. I played through all of them; it was very very cool. Generally speaking, they are paid mods, but some of them are quite vanilla in terms of how they follow the storyline. Now, obviously, not all of them are. Some of them are more just cosmetics, but that's definitely something that it's coming, and I'm excited for it just to see how they go about it. I could definitely see them going the route of kind of selling a lot of kind of reskinned armors and stuff, which I probably won't buy into because there's going to be free alternatives with the modding. But yeah, so now obviously let's briefly talk about things that haven't been fully confirmed, and one of the big ones is survival mode. Now it's kind of been teased. I don't think they've directly said it's going to be coming, but given that they're adding that tweaking system to basically tweak all the in-game stats and stuff, I could survival mode would come with it, kind of part of the parcel. Survival mode, if you've never played Fallout 4 or Fallout New Vegas, basically it was a mode that made the game a lot more harder. You had to drink, you had to eat, you had to sleep, you had to manage illness, stuff like that. And obviously with Starfield, it would go much further. You'd have to watch your fuel count. Your fuel, if your fuel gets low, you get lost in space. That could be problematic. But yeah, aside from that, there's not really a whole lot. Obviously, we're still we're in the dark on some things, but I would make an educated guess that we should be hearing something about Fallout, or about, sorry, not Fallout. We will be hearing something about Fallout next week with the Fallout update, but we should realistically hear something maybe next week. Like, I think this week we've got the Fallout update coming out, and Bethesda are focusing heavily on that because the TV show's success. I think we'll give them their week of kind of in the spotlight, and then obviously next week, hopefully, we'll get back to it with Starfield. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a little video I wanted to cover, just because I wanted to, I've seen some people that are a bit worried and stuff, and I just wanted to highlight that there is stuff coming. We just gotta, obviously, it's not the most enjoyable thing to have to kind of wait and hope, but it's coming. But yeah, as always, guys, I hope you enjoy this sort of content. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and catch you in the next one.